Mamamax, alleged
PDF file
hunter. That's the best way to say it. He's a creator on the platform, has been on the platform for a long time now. I personally used to watch all of his videos. I was very entertained by it, but he kind of has gone off the rails recently. Mamamax is a YouTuber that got his start making adult animation reviews. Then he started a series called Life Sucks, where he just complained about stuff all the time. And then he started reviewing creepy video games and kind of got into that same pocket of YouTube that Nexpo's a part of. We'll get to him later, where he just reviews creepy stuff. And that led him to IMVU and PDF file hunting. Boy, is he love allegedly hunting those PDF files. He probably pays so much to Adobe to look at those files. But Mamamax recently came out with a video and rebranded his whole channel to GODCULT, and he came out with a video called The Greatest Cancellation of All Time with Moist Critical, or Charlie, as the thumbnail, implying that he was canceling him. But nope, just run-of-the-mill clickbait where he used Charlie's face and likeness, made it seem like he was a
PDF file,
in order to tell everybody, and I use the word tell very loosely, tell everybody about a werewolf vampire cult leader named Camden Davis that has allegedly has a cult, and he's victimized hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of people, mostly children. Now you're gonna say, Hugh, that's a huge accusation to make. What evidence did Max bring to show that this person did this? And boy, would I like to know as well. One of the victims that has come out, Spencer, just basically gave like a short testimony in this 10-minute video, like, he kidnapped me, I left state lines and stuff like that. And then they showed like a picture of a video of the supposed cult leader, and it's him wearing like fake vampire teeth and roaring at the camera. All of the evidence that Max presents in that video, which was virtually none, was a few screenshots that were so short you had to literally keep rewinding and trying to pause at the right moment. He would show them for literally half a second in between his very theatrical, like, oh, look at this fast-paced Hotline Miami edits that I make. That's how Mamamax's style is, and you can have that in a video, but when you're making such a serious accusation as like this person has victimized hundreds of children, maybe calm it down a little bit and just speak in your regular tone of voice. A great example of this was when Max had a bunch of allegations levied against him. He didn't make a video where he showed a bunch of flashy edits. No, he sat down in front of a camera and talked in his normal tone of voice and debunked like the accusations that were levied against him. The whole point of the video was to say that talking about the SS Sniper Wolf thing, which, if you don't know, she doxed Jack's film. Very serious thing that she did. She doxed Jack's film, but Max feels like that's not a big deal. Doxing is totally fine, and later on in the timeline, you will see why he thinks that. So after the video, or at the end of the video at least, it points to a podcast run by the alleged victim, Spencer. It's a 4-hour and 50-minute podcast where she talks about what happened. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't listen to it. 4 hours and 50 minutes, that's 5 hours. 5 hours of your day to listen to this podcast about a guy that they don't even really have any evidence against other than word of mouth. All of the evidence I should use evidence very loosely. All the evidence they had is just Spencer saying this guy, Camden, did this to me. That's it. After the video got released, it received a lot of negative feedback from everybody. His fans, people who he tried to collaborate with or did collaborate with in the past, were not cool with it. One of which being Mutahar, or Some Ordinary Gamer. He was originally asked by Max to do this, and Mutahar was like, show me the evidence and I'll totally be doing this if the evidence is compelling. Max didn't show him any evidence, and then Mutahar was like, well, I'll just wait for your video to come out and then I'll think about it. He was like, all right, whatever. Video came out and Mutahar was like, yeah, there was nothing in the video. What? There's nothing there. To which Max was like, oh, I'll show you this stuff privately. He shows Mutahar a bunch of stuff privately, and then Mutahar even then goes like, yeah, this is nothing. If you do have anything else, you should be giving it to law enforcement. So at this time, Max starts doing weird shit where he's just doing live streams and debating random people, like people with like smaller followings, like significantly smaller, like small YouTubers. He starts just debating smaller YouTubers for seemingly no reason other than I don't know. We cannot tell what Max is doing. No one but Max knows what he's doing, and I don't even think he knows. One of these YouTubers that he debates goes by the name Lyrics, and he gives them they have a long debate, and it basically boils down to like, what is your evidence? Do you have any evidence? Have you gone to the authorities about this? If not, why haven't you gone to the authorities about this? To which Max just replies like, our lawyer told us not to go to the authorities because Camden Davis doesn't really have any seizable assets. And it's like, so your whole reason for not going to the police is because you can't get money off of this guy? What about putting him in prison? Like, what? What do you mean he doesn't have any sizable assets? Who cares, dude? Mamamax is a very popular YouTuber that has had a very lucrative Patreon. He had it one time over 2,500 active patrons, which his lowest tier was $5. So I don't know the math. If I can I'll do it in post and put it up here. $5 times 2,500 is a huge amount of money to be making every month. Like 10 times more than like the average wage in America. So for Max, somebody who's already seemingly well off, to like be like, we need to seize this guy's assets. It's very weird, and it comes into play later on in the story with the latest updates that I will share with you in a moment. I got to give you the whole picture first before we get to the present. So Lyrics debates him. Max is not happy with that. So after the live stream is over, there's a VOD on Lyrics' channel and on Max's channel. They both streamed it at the same time. Their debates, obviously, they were both streaming. Afterwards, Max comes to Lyrics and says, hey, you doxed one of the victims during that live stream, so I would appreciate if you took the video down. And Lyrics goes, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, can you give me a timestamp? Like, how did that happen? What happened? And Max went, the Discord name of one of the victims was their legal name. So Lyrics didn't dox this person. This person doxed this person. If anything, Max had more to do with doxing this person than Lyrics did. Lyrics had no knowledge or no intention to do so. This person, knowing that it was a live stream being shown to thousands upon thousands of people, joined the Discord call that they were debating in, that was shown on screen with their Discord name being their legal name. So Lyrics says, oh, okay, I will take the video down and re-upload it and like blur the person's name, get rid of their name so it's not shown on screen. To which Max, obviously wanting the video taken down because he looked like an absolute goofball. He looked absolutely ridiculous in that thing. He got destroyed, basically. He sent very cryptic messages being like, your behavior isn't like, we don't appreciate your behavior. Like, it's not like something an actual cult leader would say. He sent to Lyrics. Basically like, your behavior is not within our views or whatever, and you may get a possible strike on your channel because it's basically threatening a smaller YouTuber false strike his channel for like abuse or whatever, even though the Ricks, again, did nothing. Max is at fault for this doxing, which he had no problem doxing this cult leader, Camden Davis. He gave this guy's name, full name, face, and then he gave the name of his mother and brother. I don't think he gave the face of them, but he gave that like people their information and told his huge audience. Mamamax has like hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of subscribers. He might have hit 1 million. I don't know. I can't remember. I'll show it on screen right here how much he had prior to this. He probably has a lot less now. He had no problem with doxing his mother and his brother, who has nothing to do with the situation whatsoever, and told people when they asked for evidence to like go to his mother and like message his mother and brother, who are innocents in this thing, have no idea what's going on, and aren't involved in this in any way, shape, or form, other than one gave birth to him and one was related. Like they're just related to this guy who we don't even know what he's done at this point. There's still been no evidence. So Max has no problem doxing these random people, but this person doxes themselves, and Max helps dox them, basically, doesn't help them. And now it's a problem. Now it's Little Ricks' fault, this random person who had nothing to do or no control over that Discord call. Yeah, good job, Max. So people didn't take that kindly, obviously. Anytime Max got any backlash or criticism, or anyone asked him, like, where's the evidence, he would then go ask Mutahar for the evidence. He's seen it and said it was very compelling. So then people started going to Mutahar and was like, oh, was the evidence actually compelling? Please tell us. To which Mutahar said, the evidence I saw was not compelling whatsoever. And he's like, I saw nothing. Like, what I did see was nothing. So then Max and Mutahar started talking on a live stream about it. And Mutahar was so kind to him during this live stream. It's unreal how many of his former friends were so kind to him, and he still just spat in their face and like said, no, this cult leader. So Mutahar was like, have you gone to the authorities yet? He said no. He was like, why? He said, my lawyer advised me not to which Mutahar said, you need to get a second opinion. You need to talk to another lawyer, because, you know, Mutahar has dealt with like investigations and criminal investigations, even with like this charity fraud thing very recently. So he's like, for your lawyer to be telling you that you shouldn't go with evidence is ridiculous. I've never heard of that, and you should get another lawyer. Well, we still don't know if Max actually has a lawyer or not, but it seems like he's not actually gotten a lawyer. It seems like he's just been getting all of his law advice through ChatGPT. A leaked Discord call came out with Mutahar and Nick Diorio, other YouTuber. Max has just been asking ChatGPT for questions regarding the law and the legality of what's going on, to which Mutahar's like, ChatGPT is not a lawyer, does not have those answers. And Max just, again, he's just the double down guy. He goes, ChatGPT knows the law. No, it doesn't. And then Mutahar, after this, I think Mutahar had enough. He was just like done with Max, because Max just clearly was using Mutahar's name to try and give some credibility to the story, because there was clearly no credibility to this story. So Mutahar, having enough, finally made a video and said, yeah, man, like, you're a fraud. This is ridiculous. You are using ChatGPT. You're not helping these survivors. And at this point, you are actually profiting off of survivors. You are exploiting survivors, because turns out Max has never gotten an actual conviction of a pedophile in the years of his channel being up. In the years of him being a pedophile hunter, at least on his channel, he has yet to get a conviction. He said he did, but then it turns out he actually lied about that years ago. So in his IMVU video, he said that the person in that video got convicted. He said it proudly, and when asked, did your video result in that? He proudly exclaimed, yes, my video helped doing that. But if you ask Max that same question now, which people have, he will say, I've never gotten a conviction. That guy fled the country. We never got a conviction out of him. And then when he announced that on Nicholas Diorio's stream like years ago, and like another podcast he was on, he announced that. So when he said, like, when he was talking to Nicholas Diorio about this, he went, so why'd you lie about that years ago on my live stream? And Max went, I don't remember that. Can you send me a clip of that? He's like, I said I got somebody convicted. And he was like, yeah, you said that almost verbatim. And Max was like, oh, I don't remember that. I got like an Instagram message about it and I just read that. So I assumed that's what I was talking about. But if you look at the clips, he's clearly just like, yeah, my video got him put away. Now we know the only conviction they had was a lie. And fictional, which apparently Max is now claiming that all of his videos are fictional, even though he is like, even the one he's doing now, he says it's fictional. And it's like, what do you mean it's fictional? You're doing all this fuss about like, this guy is a cult leader. He's victimized hundreds upon hundreds of children. Like, what do you mean it's fictional? It can't be, he says the videos are fictional, but the predators are real. How does that add up? How do you take a fiction and make it nonfiction? That doesn't work. It doesn't work. Like, I could build a fucking 1-to-1 replica of Hogwarts. Doesn't mean Harry Potter's a real thing. Like, that's
flipping
insane, dude. That's insanity. The wheels are falling off the bus at this point. Like, he's just like lying. Either he's lying now or he lied in the past. So he's got no convictions under his belt, which makes it really disgusting, the fact that he promoted his Patreon as join my Patreon and help get pedophiles off the street. That was his whole thing, was if you support my Patreon, I will help make this world a better place. But now that he's gotten 0 convictions and he's bungled this case to the point in which it's not going to get a conviction, what is the point of that Patreon money? It's just to make him rich. There's no
flipping
way that he is helping victims in any way, shape, or form. He is getting a lot of money. And now this Spencer girl, who is the first victim and the most outspoken victim of Camden Davis, is now making bank as well, because she now has a podcast under Mamamax's newly formed studio name, which is Striker Studios. He changed his name of his Patreon, probably to trick people, but that's just, speculation on my part. Like, he now has Striker Films, where he produces Spencer's podcast. He has this 3-hour documentary about Camden Davis that's coming out that he's been teasing for literally like half a year at this point. And then he has his regular Mamamax videos, which I assume probably not going to be making much of nowadays. So it's all a cash grab. He's literally just exploiting victims, seemingly like, this is all alleged. I can't say outright, but if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, is probably a duck. He is clearly just like exploiting child trafficking and
PDF file
hunting to make an unbelievable amount of money. And so now we get to the modern day where Mutahar's made a video. Nick Diorio has come out of retirement to make a video about this. They're all claiming that Max is a fraud. Nick Diorio showed leaked footage of like a Discord call he had with Max and Mutahar privately, where like Max just looked dumb again. He keeps just looking dumb. Max has come out with an apology video where he only apologized to Charlie or Moist Critical, and he apologizes like 4 times to him. Clearly, this is just my opinion. I think he apologized to Charlie and kept apologizing to Charlie because he wants Charlie to talk about this, but I think Charlie's smart enough not to talk about this. Or if he does, it's going to be a very quick mention on his live stream. Like the first time that Mamamax used his face to promote this thing. Also, the whole reason that Charlie was like the face of that video is because Charlie ignored Max's messages because he had COVID. So Max was like messaging him on Discord. Charlie was talking to him like, I'd be interested in collabing on this video if the evidence is nice. Basically what he did with what every other popular YouTuber did was like, if you have evidence, yeah, sure, I'll like definitely make a video about this, but I have to see the evidence first. But then Charlie got COVID and was off the internet for like 10 days. And in that 10-day span, the video that Max made was a collaborative thing with Charlie. It turned from a collaborative thing with Charlie into Charlie is talking about stupid stuff and I'm talking about real stuff, and he could use his platform for better stuff. All right, man, you could use your platform for better stuff, like, I don't know, not exploiting children. Like, what? So now Max is just full on psychotic, like straight up like doing crazy stuff. We also found out that Spencer, the alleged victim of Camden Davis, was Max's childhood friend, like family friend, like his mom's aunt's daughter, or his mom's friend's daughter. That's the thing, mom's friend's daughter. So Max and Spencer have known each other their entire lives, which kind of makes it seem more normal that Max and Spencer live together, which I didn't mention. Max and Spencer have lived together during this time, which before that friendship thing, it was very weird. It's still pretty weird. But now that they were like childhood friends that have known each other their whole life, it's like, okay, I can like understand that you're helping out a friend, a family friend. But still, like, Spencer, I don't think is helping the situation. She made a video to Camden's mother, basically being like, your son did this and this and this, and has like hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of victims. That's a direct quote, by the way. Like, do something about it. To his mom, like, sent her a video message about that. And it's like, what is she gonna do anyway? Like, there's nothing she could do. Was she gonna go to her son and be like, don't do that anymore? Like, no. I mean, she could, but like, that wouldn't solve anything. That would just push him further into hiding, which this guy who has allegedly like victimized hundreds upon hundreds of people has no digital footprint whatsoever. We have that one photo of him, and then we have like a court booking photo of him, like from some crime or whatever. The only reason we know this guy is alive is because he got like a speeding ticket or like a traffic ticket like last year. That's the only reason we know this guy's alive. He's not on the internet anywhere whatsoever, at least like under his name or in any way traceable to him. As of right now, Max is now threatening to sue everyone in the world. A bunch of like leaked Discord messages with Max's private Discord. Max has a Discord for the victims, and even like with these leaked messages, it seems like a lot of them are like, Max, what are you doing? Like, this is not helping whatsoever. But he came out and was just like, we're gonna sue Mutahar for his video. He's abusing and harassing us. He also, in that same Discord message, says like, Mutahar is rich and has a lot of money. So this is going to help our case with Camden Davis. We'll have a lot of funds available. Not understanding that like a civil suit is a very lengthy process and cost a lot of money for you up front to do it. Even if you win, you have to have money up front unless you find a lawyer to take you on for free, basically, until the court case is settled, which no lawyer in the right mind is going to. I mean, ChatGPT will, so I guess like you could use that. But yeah, these messages leaked of him being like, me and Spencer are going to be suing Mutahar going forward, and Mutahar has lots of money. We're expecting to get $1 million from this case, and we're going to use that $1 million to help our case against Camden Davis. And yeah, that's basically it. And underneath that message, you can see people in the server who are supposedly like the victims of Camden Davis being like, Max, I don't think this is helping. Like, this is pretty bad. Like, can we not do this? This is ridiculous. Like, I don't think, like, these people are probably rational thinking people. They're probably like, yeah, there's no fucking way you're making $1 million off of this. You might, like, the only way you're making $1 million off of this is, one, if you actually had a case against Mutahar, and two, you would have to spend like $500,000 to like even get $1 million. So you would fucking be out. You would be basically, you might make 500,000, but again, that's if he had a case. Mutahar did nothing wrong to Max. If anything, Mutahar has only tried to help Max until he reached his breaking point and just was like, yeah, fuck this guy. He also did a Joker thing. Like this, that's the only way I can describe it. Max was like I don't know if he recorded himself or this was during a live stream. Max was like watching Moist Critical videos and being like, I'm a crazy stalker. Like, oh, I'm so crazy. But Charlie, I could cancel you tomorrow if I wanted to. Like, that's how crazy it is. I could just cancel you whenever I want. And then he goes, I'm the
PDF file
hunter, and does like a Joker-esque laugh.
Charlie, I could literally cancel you, Charlie. I could literally cancel you. And I choose not to. It's true, though. It's the truth. Like, I'm the friggin' pedo hunter.
This man is actually, like, he needs to go to a mental hospital. I'm genuinely concerned for Mamamax's mental well-being. That's really what it boils down to, is this guy is having a severe manic episode, or in my opinion, I have to say, having a severe manic episode. I'm a small YouTuber, unbelievably small, like no subscribers. I'm prime target for Max to just attack me for no reason or strike my channel for no reason. I don't think that's gonna happen, but you know, it could. He is like very manic and like losing it. And I don't think this Spencer person's helping. In my opinion, I think this Spencer person is just as bad as Max. Or, well, not just as bad. Max is like
flipping
ridiculous in this. He's taking advantage of victims. But I think Spencer is kind of, I don't know, she's just kind of feeding the flame a little bit. And it's kind of, those two have formed their own echo chamber where Spencer's like, we should sue Mutahar, or Max is like, we should sue Mutahar, and the other person goes, yes, definitely, let's do that. We're gonna make $1 million off of this. We're gonna have so much money. We're gonna be able to get this vampire werewolf guy off the street. Dude, the story is about a vampire werewolf cult leader. You don't need to have all these flashy theatrics. You should just have a video like when you had allegations against you and just fucking like spit the facts. Breaking down his apology video, Max's apology video, he apologized to Charlie, kind of, and then after that he like said he was gonna cancel him, so it was a very hollow apology and only makes Max look like more of a fraud. In that video, he basically doubles down on everything after apologizing to Charlie. And then he says something that is so crazy that I just don't even, like, for him to say especially. Max goes like, I thought the victims could just, I thought their word was enough evidence. Apparently people just want hard evidence these days. Yeah, what do you mean? Of course we want hard evidence. Like, Max, you yourself had pretty serious allegations levied your way with only word of mouth, for most of it at least. In your new skewed mindset, your exes that like form this cabal against you, the Sinister Six of sorts against you, they are right and you should have been canceled. Like, that's like, I don't understand where this circular logic goes, where it's like, this guy, Camden Davis, it should be enough that we just say he's bad that to get him either convicted or executed, which Max says he gets discounts on hitmen. So that's really good for your case, man. Really makes you look good in the court of law. In your weird logic, you should also be in prison for the things you've done, according to your exes. It's just a guy who's taking advantage of victims to make crazy amounts of money, and it's now fallen apart because he overstepped. He got too greedy. And it's very clear with his wording of stuff like, oh, Mutahar has lots of money. We can get a lot of money off of him from this lawsuit. I think Max is just really fucking greedy. It's one thing to be morally depraved enough to like take advantage of victims, to have a Patreon about it, where your whole Patreon's thing is like, I hunt pedophiles, and then you don't actually hunt pedophiles. It's another thing to be like, oh, all of that money I'm getting, like tens of thousands of dollars a month I'm getting, yeah, that's not enough. I need to go after this other guy who has made his money through pretty great means. Like, Mutahar's videos are very captivating and great. He deserves the money he has. Whereas Max clearly doesn't deserve the money he has, and is kind of projecting, in a way, in my opinion, towards these other popular YouTubers where he's like, oh, they should be giving me money, or at the very least helping me get money from Patreon people and victims and all this stuff. It's just mind-blowing. But that's where we're at this moment. Nothing about the lawsuit has come up yet. Yeah, one last thing. Nexpo, somebody who was friends with, like, all these people were also friends with Max. Like, yeah, they didn't talk, they weren't like close friends, but they have hung out in person, they've talked on Discord, they've been friends. Nexpo is one of these people who has helped Max and collaborated with Max. Nexpo came out and basically said, like, yeah, I'm not friends with Max anymore. I don't recognize that person anymore. Like, that is not the person I met. Like, I don't know what he's doing, and basically cut ties with him through like a text post on his Patreon. So like, Nexpo's done as well. That's where we're at in the timeline. If anything more comes up, either while I'm editing this video or while afterwards, I'll make another video talking about it. But that's all for now. That's Mamamax. He's lost in the sauce. He needs help from a trained mental health professional. And that's really what it boils down to. He needs to just stop doing what he's doing. This is not okay. Everyone thinks he's a fraud now. It's not cool. He has a chance to recover from this, and like, all he has to do is apologize and go get mental help. That's really it. I mean, all of the bridges he burned are gone forever, but like, he can still make YouTube videos. He still has fans who are mainly just concerned about him. I stopped watching Max's videos mainly because they became too theatrical for me. When he was talking about Kanye Quest or like Shinrikyo's video game or whatever, that's one thing. Like, you can be theatrical and have like a minute or two video segment where you're pretending to be in Hotline Miami. But when you're talking about actual victims, the fact that you're using most of the video to like show off your editing skills instead of just like actually stating the facts, and those facts have to be found by like pausing the video, yeah, that's not cool. It's not great. It really makes you look bad. Anyway, I'm Hugh. This is the video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want more videos like this of me talking to you about what's going on the internet, or just whatever. Who knows? Tell me how you're doing today when you're watching this in the comments below. And until next time, peace out.